The Chancellor has announced long-awaited details of the dramatic winter fuel U-turn, with 3/4 of pensioners getting the money. GB News guest Mike Parry claims Rachel Reeves has made an absolute clown of herself following her dramatic turnaround on her winter fuel cuts. On Monday, June 9, the Chancellor announced the long-awaited details of new winter fuel payments this year. She confirmed that 3/4 of pensioners will now get payments of up to £300 designed to help them stay warm in the freezing weather. It means the overwhelming majority of those who lost the money will become eligible again, at a huge cost of £1.25 billion in England and Wales. Ms. Reeves said, targeting winter fuel payments was a tough decision, but the right decision because of the inheritance we had been left by the previous government. It is also right that we continue to means test his payment so that it is targeted and fair, rather than restoring eligibility to everyone including the wealthiest. But we have now acted to expand the eligibility of the winter fuel payment so no pensioner on a lower income will miss out. This will mean over 3/4 of pensioners receiving the payment in England and Wales later this winter. Now, broadcaster Mike Parry has hit out at the politician in a scathing review on The Breakfast Show with Eamon Holmes and Ellie Costello. He fumed, "What happened here was, when they, Labour, got in, the economy was in good shape and it was at the top of the G7 league. The Tories had actually made progress in growth in the economy. But when Rachel Reeves got in, this amazing £22 billion black hole suddenly appeared. Even the OBR, Office for Budget Responsibility, who are usually very favourable to a Labour government, questioned it and said, we're not sure where that is. But Rachel Reeves sat down with her advisers and decided to make the world think that I'm an Iron Chancellor and that I can take the hard decisions. We've got to announce a cut in public spending." The journalist argued that the Chancellor could have cut public spending elsewhere, possibly taking a hit from the welfare bill by slashing train drivers' salaries and doctors' essentials, but explained that this would have promoted backlash from traditional Labour supporters, trade unionists and left-wing backbenchers. He went on, "So what she did was decide with her advisers to pick on the people who could least protect themselves, who could least fight back, and they were the pensioners. She never saw it as a political problem, she saw it as an opportunistic problem because pensioners don't go out on the streets and hold placards, pensioners can't go on strike like train drivers can, so she thought, this is perfect. She didn't realize the massive political damage because in this country we are a very caring country, and even if you weren't a pensioner who needs that £300 winter fuel allowance, you had children and grandchildren who were very, very concerned." He concluded, "It was a wicked and nasty policy that was ill thought through, and the leader at the House of Commons, Lucy Powell, a few weeks later had to justify by saying, oh, well, there would have been a run on the pound. It's utter nonsense, complete and utter nonsense. She's not going to say sorry because that would be too humiliating, and remember politically she's welded to Sir Keir Starmer. Her future prospects are largely alongside his, so I don't think he's going to sack his Chancellor even though she's made a complete fiasco of it. She should say sorry because at least she'd get a bit of respect for it, but she's made an absolute clown of herself." It didn't take long before fans flooded to X, formerly known as Twitter, to share their complaints online. One user penned, "The utter nonsense presenter by Rachel Reeves will have the opposite effect. Her speech simply served to emphasize how incompetent this government is. Their policies, for example, have increased unemployment. That aside, pensioners know that pressure from #ReformUK forced the U-turn." Another agreed, "How has Rachel Reeves managed to do such a terrible job without being fired? Do you think the Labour government will disintegrate under Starmer's control?" A third argued, Rachel Reeves did not want to U-turn on winter fuel payments. But Labour got a good kick in the ballots that made them think again.